Today, I'm on the southeast end of the San Francisco Bay. Behind me is Coyote Creek, and in the distance is what is considered the last known ghost town of this area, a town called Drawbridge. Now, Drawbridge got its start in the 1870s when a new railroad running from the Bay Area down to Santa Cruz cut across Station Island behind me. In doing so, a small two-room building was established, and the first resident was tasked with swinging open and close the railroad bridges at each end of Station Island. But passengers on the train noticed as they went across Station Island the abundant amount of ducks and other birds in the area, as well as the potential for fishing spots and swimming holes. And eventually, people started to make stops on Station Island in order to hunt, fish, and swim. In doing so, that two-room building by the 1920s had turned into 80 to 90 buildings, including multiple hotels with 600 permanent residents and thousands of tourists. Hunt clubs lodged weekend hunters who came for the salt marshes' bounty of shorebirds and migrating waterfowl. The natural canals around Drawbridge provided ample boating channels and swimming holes, and residents called the tracks that ran through town center Main Street. At one time, trains stopped 10 times a day, bringing up to 1,000 visitors to Drawbridge on busy weekends. Life at Drawbridge was different, balanced on the border between civilization and wilderness. And due to Drawbridge's location, there wasn't much law enforcement in the area, and prostitution and gambling and all of the other nefarious activities that went on blossomed. Although, as residents would say, it was still a great town to live in. Salt companies diked the area's marshes, turning over 30,000 acres into artificial salt ponds by the 1940s. With much of Drawbridge's appeal gone, residents started to vanish. Drawbridge survived until about the 1960s, when the canning facilities in the southern end of the bay began dumping polluted water, sewage, and essentially sulfuric acid from the lye water that they were using in their canning process directly into the bay. This polluted the marshes, and additionally, because of population growth in the area, an underground aquifer was tapped, resulting in Drawbridge sinking even further into the marsh. Residents would raise their cabin on even higher stilts, but eventually less than 5 people lived in Drawbridge, the last of which, a guy named Charlie, left in 1979, and by then the area had become a nature preserve, and Drawbridge is now part of the Don Edwards San Francisco Bay National Wildlife Refuge. The town is off limits for people. Today, Station Island and much of the South San Francisco Bay area around it are undergoing a rebirth through the South Bay Salt Pond Restoration Project. Started in 2003, the project is transforming over 15,000 acres of industrial salt ponds into a mix of wetland habitats for wildlife. And now Drawbridge is, as they say, for the birds. Thanks for watching, and until next time, get lost.